We have Brigitte Willis from FCCLH from Columbia County. All right, don't be shy. All right, well, continue to do that and we will shout out throughout the meeting. Is that Nicole Talley, Georgia DOE 619 coordinator. Thank you. Noni Walton, Executive Director of Oak Leaf School, Training Coordinator, ABC Training. Welcome. Thank you all for obliging me on that. So now we're going to go over the agenda. So we just did it, the greetings and introductions. Then we have the awesome Dr. Katrina Smith that's going to do mindful experience. Don't you know we all need mindful experience with all that's going on around us? Guess what? We need some time to have those mindful experiences. Then overview of today's gathering. Then we're going to have small group discussions and connections. Your perspective on minding your business from FCCLH, which is a family childcare provider. So you know what, some things may not pertain to you, but listen anyway. You may be able to add some things in of what you're doing, and then you may be able not to, but it's from a family childcare provider, and we're excited to have us. So I wanted you to keep that note in mind. Breakout sessions, professional solutions and resources, and then we'll have closing, questions and answers, and next steps. Now I take this great opportunity to introduce our great president of BCDI-Atlanta, Dr. Brigitte Willis.
Thank you, Ms. Shirlita, and welcome everyone to our, this is our fourth, I believe, lean gathering. I am so happy to be the president of this wonderful organization, and we have such an amazing team, Ms. Shirlita, Dr. Daphne, we have our consultants on, Sharon Hudgens-Beck, Dr. Katrina Smith, and you guys, I'm ecstatic every month about this gathering because it's strictly for leaders. It's a time where we can get together and we can support one another. Ms. Shirlita and I have both managed multiple child development centers as well, so we feel your pain. And we are here to make sure every single month we provide a different topic to support you in the work you're trying to do. We're recording today, not something that we usually do because we love for you all to have a free space and not worrying about a snippet or a screenshot or anything being shared from what you are here to discuss today. However, we know that there is a conflicting state meeting that a lot of the directors are on. So the only reason we're recording today is so we can make sure that they still have this experience and this wonderful information because they wanted to attend as well. As Ms. Shirlita said, you're going to hear a lot of information today. Take what you feel that you can use. One of the things we love to do is allow you to discuss. So in your breakouts, you'll get a chance to hear from fellow directors, what they're using, what they're doing. And the goal is, this is your goal today, take one or two ideas that you can use to improve, tweak what you're currently doing. One or two ideas. You can't take the whole sandwich and eat it at once, but you can take a bite or two. So thank you all for joining us, and I'm looking forward to engaging with you today in our lean gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Bisa. So for the guys who are new to BCDI, we're part of a national organization. There are 24 affiliates across America. And our vision is, and our mission is to improve and advance the quality of life for Black children here in the BCDI-Atlanta for families in Georgia through advocacy and education. And we envision a society that ensures a successful future for all of Georgia's children. We have 6 platforms that we work, that's how we operationalize our work throughout all of the programs that we have. So we work in public policy with initiatives such as Black Children Count, we work in early care and education, we work with health and wellness through our Choose Healthy Life program, which is one of our initiatives. We have family engagement programs such as Powerful Families and Foster Family Leaders. We have our Reach is a Seed as a part of our literacy program, and we do our child welfare work. We're partnering with other agencies across the state. So we are everywhere trying to really support children and families in Georgia. So now I want to introduce you to Dr. Katrina Smith. We're going to woosah, and we're going to be mindful because we know that we have experienced a lot of competing priorities in our life, working through the pandemic, in and out of the pandemic and life and all those things. So Dr. Katrina is going to help us to center and focus and have the energy that we need to be successful. Dr. Katrina.
You're muted, Dr. Smith.
Yes.
Oops, sorry. I had to stop sharing to get back to my screen. Thank you. Okay. So the mindful moment today that we're going to be doing is better sleep for better health, because a lot of people suffer from insomnia. A lot of people suffer from sleep deprivation, but no one has ever died from sleep deprivation. But we want you all to have better sleep because that's how we function better. We can't do great jobs if we're not getting good rest. A lot of things happen when we're not restful. But today we're going to learn about sleep. So some myths that I put up about sleep is a lot of people, believe that we need 8 hours of sleep to feel refreshed. However, that's not the case. 8 hours is just the average that's reported. It ranges from 3 to 10 hours of sleep. and that depends on various factors such as your age and your health and any illnesses. Another myth is that when I have trouble sleeping, I should stay in bed. Okay, that pertains to children, not adults, right? We want our kids to sleep. But the problem is that the more you stay in sleep, the more you try to sleep, you don't sleep. And that's called the sleep effort. And that becomes a problem. And we're going to discuss why you shouldn't stay in bed while if you cannot sleep. So how can you have good sleep is through sleep hygiene. And sleep hygiene means having good habits of sleeping, having a quiet sleep area that's free from distractions, a good sleep schedule, and a bedtime routine of going to sleep that's relaxful or relaxing. And having a sleep schedule is important for people who cannot sleep. This doesn't pertain to everyone because everyone doesn't have sleep problems, but this is really important for those who have sleep problems. Having a good sleep hygiene with these areas identified. And some of the things that keeps us from sleeping at night, I've often discussed this with my clients, is having caffeine after 2 o'clock because caffeine stays in your system for a good 6 hours, right? You'll get text messages at 12 o'clock because someone can't sleep. They're not sleeping, right? Alcohol after 6, alcohol will put you to sleep, but it interrupts your sleep. So it's important to drink alcohol earlier in the day if you're going to drink. Exercising at night, having electronics in the bed, and staying in bed while you're awake. I always tell people bed should only be used for sleeping and for sex. It's the only thing, right? Because we're all adults, okay? And so one of the things, remember we talked about last month about the amygdala, how it holds memory and emotion. And when we're in bed, we're creating that memory that the bed is used for electronics. And your bed should be, when you see your bed, it should signal sleep. But what happens is, let me go back. What happens is we end up staying awake because we can't sleep, because we've trained our brain to see bed for using these electronics. So we want to make our brain associate bed with sleep. So that's why we should not be in bed while we're awake. So get up, go do something. When you're tired, then come back to bed. Okay. So we are going to do a breathing, a quick breathing exercise. So if you cannot sleep, and it's interesting because I had to do this last night. So Entry says, let me do my own breathing exercise. So this breathing can help you to fall asleep if you have problems falling asleep. So I want you guys, we're going to ground ourselves again with our breathing. So let's get in a comfortable place, very relaxed. Okay. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through our mouths, through our nose and out our mouth. Okay. And remember, as you're breathing, you want to start grounding yourself. Okay, bring yourself to your center. And you can do that by focusing on the air that's coming in your nose. How does it feel? You know, remember to think of it as it being the first time again. You're noticing it. I just want you to focus on your breathing. In, out your mouth. Kind of observe how you're feeling. Are you relaxed? I want your shoulders not to be hunched. I want them to be lowest to the ground as possible. Relax. In and out. Now the next couple of breaths that we're going to take, I want you to hold your breath for about 10 seconds. Okay. So in, hold it for 10 seconds. And as you're holding it, I still want you to relax. I don't want you to tense. I want you to relax. Think about something that's very comforting to you, something that's very relaxing. And when you get to 10, I want you to let it out very slowly. And remember to relax as you're letting it out. And think of it as you're releasing everything that's not needed, everything that's a blockage for you. Okay. Another deep breath in and hold it for 10 seconds. Remember, if your mind drifts off, that is okay. Our breathing is our anchor. Okay. Remember to keep your shoulders relaxed. Okay. We're going to breathe in 2 more times and hold it for 10 seconds. Okay. In, out. Observing where you're at in the moment, keeping yourself focused and anchored with your breathing. Let it out. Your last breath, I want you to go beyond the 10 seconds, maybe 15 if you can. Trying to stay relaxed as you're holding your breath. Thinking about what is good and what is pleasant for you. Observing how relaxed you are, how better you feel. Letting it out very slowly. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. And the reason why I want you to hold it for 10, 15 seconds is because when you hold your breath for a long time, you may end up passing out eventually. But what I want this to do for you is to relax you. And then your brain is asking for oxygen. It's no longer thinking about the person that rubbed you the wrong way, the bill that's due, the work that's due. It's thinking about oxygen. All those other things become secondary. And so this helps you to relax more and to take your mind off of what's causing you to be distracted from your sleep. So practice this when you cannot sleep because you're not sleeping because you're worried about something and your brain will scream for oxygen more than what is being worried about. And focus on your sleep hygiene of what's keeping you from sleeping. Thank you. And I'm going to stop sharing.
Thank you, Dr. Katrina. We
You're
always
welcome.
need that. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So we're going to proceed on. So for folks who are new to Lean is an initiative that BCDI-Atlanta is our inaugural program, and we're really looking to advance equity and advance equity for leaders throughout Georgia. We bring in a group of stakeholders who are from different positions, but who are in leadership roles in the early childhood field all across Georgia. And we want to have this time to share information, to learn, and really support and lean into each other so that we can ensure that our families are having high quality services. Like Dr. Bisa said, normally this is a place where we could have an open forum. However, because of the conflict, we did record, but feel free to speak and share as much as you want to share. And the information will just be shared with people who will participate in the program. We also use, we have a stakeholder group who provides advice and assistance to our Expand ECE program. And that's a fellowship program where we are developing future leaders. At the end of our Lean series, each of you, because you have participated in at least one session, you will receive an online resource guide that will support all the topics that we've covered throughout the year. So we've had 90-minute sessions starting in January, and they will go through June. Today, we're excited. The title for today's session is Minding Your Business. We're going to talk about day-to-day operations. We're going to talk about facilities, time management, financial management. And we all, as a part of this, as Ms. Shalita said, we're going to focus on family childcare learning homes as a springboard to talk about other learning spaces. So it could be a group home, or you can have a center-based care, or you could be a home visitor. But we're going to use as a core, because there are so many different programs, we're going to focus and spotlight on family childcare centers to synergize on the things that we're finding that are very similar when we're managing our business, and things that we may see that there are some differences. So in preparation for this conversation, we're going to break out into small groups. We're going to be in small groups for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. And in this group, we want you to have intentional conversation. We want you to talk about things that made your program successful. So if you look at program design and management, what are some strategies that you use at your organization that you want to share that really, really works with you? It could be related to, like I said, fiscal, finances, taxes, employment. We did a lot on that, facilities. So just anything you want to talk about. Then we also want you to share some challenges, because we want to know, where do you need support? And then we want you to identify a resource that has been very helpful. So if you went to an organization, an individual, a consultant, association, what has really been successful, has helped to support your success. And then after we come out of our small groups, we're going to come back and share something that we've learned from our conversation. So what's working really good? What are some challenges, and what are some resources? So Ms. Charlita is going to assign you randomly to a group, and we'll get to have this conversation, and we'll come back and share after we're done. Ms. Charlita. Should I join a group? You're on mute.
You can probably just float and just check on people, but
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, float, but Sharon hasn't accepted hers, so.
So no one's, they will get you in room 2.
Yeah, it's 3 people, it's 2 people on there, but I'm gonna go in there.
just leave me here, y'all. Thanks.
Right, no, you can just float, Dr. Beast, I never put you in
Okay,
the room.
that's all good. Thank you.
So I'll go to room 1. Okay, we had a good conversation.
My apologies, my computer, I'm driving and it keeps going out on me.
No worries, we understand. So I don't know if anyone wants to share something that's successful or a challenge or a resource, and we can popcorn it. However you want to do, we can mix it up. So if anybody wants to go first.
What the group we were in, one of the challenges is that because of what we're going through right now with COVID and all that, the anxiety has risen to its fullest. You know, a child they were explaining that a child got dizzy, you know, because of something on the playground, but immediately the staff thought it was COVID.
Wow.
And then we took it as far as saying, even now you can't be out in public, or if a parent hears a teacher sneeze, why is that parent in the classroom or coughing? So anxiety has really hit the peak in this day and time because of what we're going through. So, and we would, you know, joking that even if you're in a store, you cough, everybody's looking at you, and this is allergy season. So anxiety hits everybody. So they need Dr. Katrina for those mindful minutes, because it's hard. It's really hard for parents. And then the children are kind of confused, like, you know, am I sick? You know, should I go home? Or is my teacher sick because my mama said it? Or, you know, so the anxiety has really come to its peak in running a child development center, whether it's in home or in an agency.
That's so true. I was at a parent meeting, started coughing, and my child asked me to leave the room because he was embarrassed. I was like, but I'm just coughing. Well, so I get it. Yeah. Oh, that's stress. Oh, that's stressful. Does anybody else want to share a strategy, challenge, or resource?
I'll share a resource that I have used, and I need to utilize it more. And the speaker, Monique Reynolds with QCC Work, she's been a part of these lean sessions, and how she has detailed and outlined a lot of different toolkits and recordings and templates of things that you wouldn't even imagine or think of. But like they said, there's a plan for that. There's a template for that. And just hearing the different trainings and recordings, but through the provider resource hub and the provider business exchange, I've seen a lot of centers, especially different changes maybe in management, that they have a lot of things for sale. And that platform gives people in this industry a place to go and see different items and things for sale, or job postings. But I just found that Provider Resource Hub and QCC Works has been a great resource for multiple different things of how to run your business.
Cool beans. Our quality care for children. We talked about the Early Childhood Knowledge Learning Center from Head Start. There are just so many resources when you go and click on that site. If you want to know about family engagement, health and wellness, just anything that you don't have to be a Head Start program, but to go and look on that site. So that was one thing that we identified. Did anybody else want to share anything, or a resource, challenge, or strength?
I'd like to share something. I don't know how often people are reading up on what is going on in research in childcare, but if you just go to Google Scholar, and whatever topic you put in there, they're going to show the most recent research articles in there. You can indicate the years that you want, but it's always, current research is considered 5 years prior. And so if you want to know what the current research is in any kind of field, go to Google Scholar. And that's googlescholar.org.
Cool beans. Anyone else? Well, thank you so much. We want to move on. Okay, so now I want to introduce you to our fabulous Brigitte Willis. She's a friend of the family, very actively involved. She owns a family child care learning home in Grovetown, Georgia. She's been an owner since 2018. She's a boy mom and a retired military wife. She had attended Appalachian State College University in Boone, North Carolina, where she's from, Charlotte. And she's held various management positions throughout her career. So she'll be able to offer us a lot around leadership. And she's also very active in the community with the parent. When her child was in school, she was active in the state advisory councils, parent-teacher organizations, and other organizations. So, Bridget, we're really excited to hear from you, and I want to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Daphne. I appreciate it, and Dr. BCDI-Atlanta for this opportunity to be able to share with you today. It's very humbling and aspiring, and being amongst peers and colleagues, and being able to feel that you can lean in where you need to lean in and rise up to the level, to the challenge that is before you. And I want to go ahead and put the warning out now. The internet has been going a little crazy this week to this point, and I did send up my presentation ahead of time in case something goes awry during, but I'm going to turn my camera off during the presentation. But thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate this opportunity to share with you. And I'm going to take the note from Dr. Katrina and leave my mute activated, so I won't go. Thank you so much. Just learning this technology, it is about sequencing. All right, are you able to see the presentation? Thank you so much. It's minding your business. And I was like, BCDI has it going on with these titles and getting you right to the point of what you need to be focused on during this process of leaning in, because all the topics that they have had to this point are very right on. But thank you so much. Dr. Daphne did a great job of sharing some of my acclimates thus far. But we want to get right in to say, am I in the right business? Before you can even start with what you need to do or what you're looking to do is, are you in the right business? And I attended a training. It was actually through QCC Works, where Charles Green, a financial advisor, was given the course. And he was sharing some of the different things as it pertains to the childcare industry. And he was going over some different questions. So just something to think about, something to ponder. What excites you about your work? Who will your work benefit? Do you prefer to work as a team or independently? Are you task goal oriented? Are you willing to put in the work for success, however you define success? So just some things to think about as you're looking into the childcare business or any business, because we might do a hustle on the side until we get the foundation and the street cred built up to launch out into the deep. So just think about that. And the objectives for today, I'll read over them quickly. Understand the role of your environment. Schedule professional development. Think about the content and the cost. Connect, develop a peer support network. Nurture your community partnerships. Make time for financial reporting. Understanding time management. Stop and breathe. Self-reflection and mindfulness. And thank you so much, Dr. Katrina, for that segment before this. Helped you to get centered and help you to know that if you don't have that mindset together, you're not going to be able to do anything else. Literally, you won't be able to do anything else. And make adjustments and be flexible in order to grow. And then with understanding your environment, we're thinking about looking at your physical space. Is it welcoming? Is it safe? Is it child friendly? Is it clean? High quality? Program culture on display for parents, for your staff? Is it informative? Is it resourceful? Other things to think about and consider. Thinking about staff and hiring and what they're saying to people as they come in, people out in the community. What about your front entrance? Is it welcoming? Is it together? Is it fresh? Is it inviting? What about your playground? Is it in disarray? Does it need some special love? Is the equipment new and sparkly and showing kids engaging with it? What about your parking lot area? Do you even have a parking lot area for pickups and drop-offs? Then thinking about relationships with your licensing consultant, with your CCR&R staff, and hopefully everyone is considering the CACFP food program, and what is your relationship with your specialist. These are all things to consider and more when understanding your environment. Another point that I want to highlight, which is very relevant right now, especially during COVID times, directors are looking for staff professional development. They're trying to make sure they meet the goals, whether it's the 10 hours of training or 18 hours of training, or teachers being able to move from one age group to another, or maybe from one position to another in leadership. So we have to think about scheduling professional development. And with that, are you creating surveys on the interest of your staff? Are you soliciting preferences from parents? What do the parents need? Are they feeling comfortable enough to engage with you to share some things that they need, or things about their child, or things regarding your program? See if you can book a venue with another program. That might be something to save your cost. If it's almost like a church on every corner, there might be another childcare provider or even a family childcare learning home that you could partner with certain things, certain events, and see if you can book a venue to help with that cost sharing, and then help you to network and create other relationships as you're going forward. Search for trainings from other states and or industries. Especially during the times of COVID, we've been exposed to a lot of different levels of professional development. Even though we have some of the best, if not the best, trainers in the Georgia area and the state of Georgia, there are other very qualified trainers in other states. And COVID has provided opportunities for us to get on a training or pay for a virtual conference, or be able to attend a virtual event from other states or even other industries that have a plan in place that can help you take your business further by thinking out of the box and seeing what best practices are available in other industries. Are you budgeting for staff to attend national conferences? A lot of the programs, thank you to DECAL and federal funding, a lot of programs that are licensed in Georgia have received stable forward money for financial stability. So they are getting money each month, and it's almost like, what can I do with this money? I have this money, I need to do something with it. So that's something that you can think about. Think about ways for your staff to attend a national conference. Another way of thinking outside of the box is attending a statewide conference or an event. We know it's conference season. A lot of organizations have conferences maybe in the spring and maybe more so in the fall. So think about that while you're planning your calendar, while you're putting different budgets in place and looking at your staff to see who's ready to launch out into something a little more different, or you see some leadership characteristics in them that you want to choose them, select them so that they can go out and share the information and be empowered in and of themselves. Because you see that spark that's within them and you don't want that spark to die. Support staff with mentoring and more responsibilities for continued growth. And that's another thing that has happened in a lot of the different informal meetings and other groups of program directors and providers have come together, especially during COVID, and they were saying, what can we do to keep our staff? Well, maybe mentoring, coaching, pairings of people together, maybe different levels of expertise, or maybe different levels of how they work with this age group, and maybe switching or changing the partnerships of people coming together with a different age group. So we can all see that everyone is valued and that they are needed. And then support staff who seek higher learning endeavors. At some point, people are going to come to a decision that they want to stay or that they want to leave. But what you can do as a leader is make sure that when they're there with you, that you are providing the best environment for them to grow and stay with you throughout however long that period is. Hopefully it'll be longer, but we want to be a conduit for people to be able to have their fulfillment in whatever area that they want to. Hopefully they'll still choose you, but if they don't, you will know that you help them along the way to be the best person that they can be. And then find ways to implement the lessons learned from trainings. That's another takeaway that educators have shared, in that people go to trainings, they go to different events, and then when it's time to share the lessons learned with the admin staff, sometimes it is not seen as a priority, or it's not received as something that we need to do, or the admin staff have another set of things that they're already working on. So it is very hard to say, okay, we're going to implement this whole new plan. But both groups can work together and say, I see that this is a priority and I see that you're passionate about it. How can we support you in implementing some of those things, and then giving me feedback as the admin staff on how some of those things are working? Because what you don't want to do is alienate the people that are trying to grow and learn because you are not receptive to their ideas. So everybody has value, and you have to show them that they are valuable to you, so they won't go out and seek for others to have that fulfillment. And then I just wanted to give a special plug for BCDI. We all know the great work that they do in the city of Atlanta and surrounding areas, but on the website, there are many training opportunities available, but I just chose out these two things, and Dr. Daphne, she went over that very beautifully earlier about some trainings and things that are available. But I didn't want you to forget that BCDI-Atlanta has training opportunities available also. So please go check them out. And then thinking about connect, develop, peer support. That's another thing, because we are human beings, and whether we like it or not, we are in a society. And at some point, you're going to have to interact with others. So let's just hope that it's positive experiences and learning experiences to be able to grow and learn and do better and to be more inclusive as we are going. But think about joining a book club, and it doesn't have to be anything formal that is set up. I saw a Facebook posting I think Decal did the posting, but they were featuring a particular program that with their staff, they decided to do a book club. And I'm assuming the admin staff chose 3 different books that could be relevant for that first undertaking of the book club. And then the staff decided which book they wanted to read. And they went through that process and then had a presentation or a summary to the rest of the staff to let them know what some of the takeaways or the best practices were from that particular book. But any little things that you could do, or you could join, I know Resilient Georgia, they have a book club here in Georgia that they tackle different things, especially that What Happened to You, the book by Dr. Bruce Perry and Oprah, that's been in front of a lot of people right now, and they even have a workbook. But that could be something that you could choose with your staff, or if with an organization. That could be something that the board of directors could decide to do. Volunteer at a feeder elementary school. We have all these schools, all these, I guess, opportunities to grow and network, and knowing that the children that you deal with daily, they're going to eventually go to some of these schools. So look to some of those schools to develop relationships with the teachers in the kindergarten grade, or the parapros, or the PTO or PTA, or some of the principals, or even the school board, or just seeing what you can do to help make sure that people see you and know about you, and you only limit yourself. Other people, they think it would be great to know what is going on at your program, but because you think no one wants to know, then you stay to yourself, and then everybody loses in that regard. Start a read aloud event in your community. And I know Dr. Biza and BCDI-Atlanta have been a part of the mayor's summer reading book club. I'm sorry, I'm sure I got the words in the wrong order, but it's a book club sponsored by the mayor. And they send out different literature, different books, but different activities that are maybe going on during the summer. So I'm going to be a part of an initiative to just in my neighborhood. There's a clubhouse and a pool area in my neighborhood. So I said, I'm going to choose 2 or 3 Saturdays during the summer months, and I'm just going to go to the clubhouse area and have some make and takes, some crafts that we can put together with whoever the kids are in the neighborhood that are there, and have some read aloud. And there's special trainings that you can do to find out how, I'm sorry, I got all these notifications going off. So you can find out how to best deliver your read aloud, but it could be something as simple as that. Just taking literature and saying, I'm going to request this space, and then being active in my community that way. And then looking for other opportunities, might be at the library or might be at a church, that you could develop more relationships. Engage with a membership organization to help community. I know, for example, BCDI-Atlanta is a membership organization. We have a GAUIC, we have PSCCAG, but there are many others that would be willing and look for you to be a part of their organization and come in and do the work. Let's just not be a part of something and then sit back and expect others to solve world hunger. I mean, let's be an active participant. Let's engage in that. And that comes with that relationship of being a member of something and having a stake in something. So consider that as you're going and wanting to be involved in different things. And then that support, that camaraderie that you would get by seeing people that are like-minded individuals and seeing and knowing what is happening with you. So that's wonderful to think about also. Start a social media page to be resourceful for teachers. And I know in the Expand ECE session we just had last week, one of the coaches was sharing about LinkedIn and Twitter and some of the other platforms that could be used for a professional level to get other information out. But social media does not have to be a bad thing, and it's not just a place to put things out there and showing what you're about to eat before you eat it, or trolling someone or throwing shade at whatever life event is happening for someone else. It can be used for good. So that's why I said be resourceful for teachers. It could be a place where you're sharing a resource or sharing, this is what happened to me. How could I better have handled this situation? Or I have an assessment tool we're looking to use. What tools do you use? It doesn't have to be used for bad. So just think about that as you're looking to post things, and then the engagement that you get from that. And sometimes, well, more times than not, people are watching and you don't know who's watching. But if you put something positive out there, people will gravitate to that, and then they'll remember and say, oh, I don't know you personally, but I saw that you posted this and I'm wanting to learn more about that. So it can be definitely used for good. Connect with churches in your area for outreach. There's all types of different things going on, and you can ask Miss Shirley about different churches and different things, and Dr. Visa, and I'm sure everyone that's connected with BCDI-Atlanta, but they have a special connection too with the church. But there are different types of organizations that are doing things all the time. And how can you help? And how can you reach out? And how can you be more impactful with things that are going on? And then the flip side of it is, then it's a positive connotation with your program, or with you as a person, or your family, or it could be your nonprofit organization that you're starting up. But just because you went out and said, I want to be a part of what this church is doing, their initiative, that can go a long way as you venture out and you can be trusted and respected in your community. Attend informal meetings of ECE organizations. And there are different meetings going on in the state of Georgia. And I will say that GAUIC normally has meetings, informal meetings on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. And it's a place where many different people, professionals, and from all different levels in the ECE industry can come together and share some things and get answers to some challenges that they might be facing. So just think about different opportunities to attend some meetings, and a lot of organizations are doing Zoom calls right now. So it might be a great opportunity to sit in on some of the meetings, and maybe someone is asking the question that you want answered. But lots of great things are happening if you attend some of those informal meetings. And then participate in peer support network meetings. That's another thing that's out there, especially as you're going through quality rated. A lot of the programs are especially during COVID. Let me just back up and say during COVID, when the quality rated department was trying to figure out how can we get these programs rated, but not being able to view them in person. So a lot of different things were happening. And then actually the peer support network meetings went to virtual also. And I'm happy to announce that I'm one of the newest peer support network ambassadors. So I had my first session in March, but it's a very empowering time to be able to come together to assist programs that are looking to be rated through the Georgia QRIS system, and to help encourage the people that have been in it for a while to say, let's continue on. And you may have just turned in your portfolio, but let's see if we can go for the 2-star next time. Or maybe you don't want to be complacent with your 2-star and you're just chomping at the bit, Brigitte Willis, looking for the opportunity to be 3-star. So, and then accreditation on top of all of that. So just great opportunities for you to be able to come together and share with others about your process. And then Decal is listening there, because they've changed that the system that they had before with the TARO system, the tarot system. And then people said, I don't want to be a 2-star. I've been a 3-star this whole time. I need someone to put in more rigor so I can go for the 3-star. And then that's when they came up with the LOVE system, the love, that opened the door for programs to be able to have the chance to do the 3-star rating. So if you say something, the people will listen. If you say something, and then find a hobby of interest to experience fulfillment. So that's something I'm still working on, to have some downtime to be able to couple that with a hobby. And then I think Dr. Victoria, and she's on the call now, that she had a training class a couple of weeks ago, and she introduced Wordle to us, WORDLE. I had seen people post different things on Facebook, and I was like, what is this? Somebody's posting something. But I want you to know, Dr. Victoria, that has turned into my experience of fulfillment, because I make sure I have 5 or 10 minutes and I get on there and solve some puzzles on that thing. So just find anything. It doesn't have to be something elaborate or something that you have to be whisked away or drive away to attend. It could be just something small that you could do where you can feel fulfilled in whatever you engage in. So thank you, Dr. Victoria, for that. Nurture community partnerships. Like I was stating before, local churches from different beliefs and denominations. And I'm not going to stay on it too long, because we are in a conservative state of Georgia, and people of different denominations and people with different belief systems still want to be respected and valued and heard. So whatever the end is we want to provide a safe environment for children to thrive in the state of Georgia. Who wouldn't want that? So don't let some of these other barriers get in the way of the pursuit of what the goal or the mission is providing a safe environment for children in the state of Georgia to grow and to thrive. And then I went through a list of some organizations that maybe we haven't thought about with community partnerships, because it could be your program is smaller or your program could be large. But I was thinking about it from a family childcare perspective, and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. There could be, they're meeting at a church, they're doing something, and maybe you can partner with them, and they could be some sort of mentor to the children at your program, or even with the adults. It could be opportunities of leadership and engagement in those particular organizations. Assisted living and retired communities. We're thinking of field trips as we're starting to get out and about in the community again, and that goes a long way, showing the community residents that live in those assisted and retired communities that they are valuable, and we still need, love, and want them, and they have something to share. So another field trip opportunity, or even now through Zoom, you could have meet with one of the directors, because they want engagement there also. It could be something setting up through Zoom just to start out, and then maybe the culmination of the initiative is to have the visit, and then it could just be a one-time visit to end the program. But just thinking outside of the box. And I live near Fort Gordon military base, so I was thinking about reserve units and military posts. there are different people in your community doing different things. And I'm sure there are different initiatives going on, and maybe they need an extra hand, or ask the families that you are providing care for. Because I have military families right now. So that could be my indoor to seeing what might be needed. And then maybe that's getting your name out too, as you are advertising, not advertising, that you have a program, and you would be happy to take some of those military families that might not want to go through it through the DoD side. So just something to think about. And then of course, fraternities and sororities. I was going to put some different pictures up there, but I didn't want to offend anyone, because we all know who's the best, but sometimes other people want to debate over who's the best. So I didn't put any pictures up there today. I didn't want anybody coming to Columbia County to take me out if I said the wrong thing. But they do community projects all the time, looking for partnerships and initiatives, and they need volunteers. So things are happening all the time in elementary, high schools. Another opportunity to reach out. And a provider from the PSCCAG informal meeting, she shares that the county that she's in is really small, but she has placed a little niche with some of the community leaders in her county, and she does some work and makes space available for the women's shelters. And I was like, I never even thought about that. But she was saying there was a need, and she's a trusted person, so her information is listed in the women's shelter. So as women are getting on their feet that have children, then there's a safe place that the children can go while the mom is looking for work or has a doctor's appointment or other things that are happening while she's getting on her feet. So I was like, wow, that was awesome, and thinking outside of the box. And then we know you're familiar with United Way, because they have been a great partner in a lot of different areas and organizations, and providing opportunities for funding for great initiatives to happen, and YMCA chapters. So again, looking for community partnerships. You can think more outside of the box with social workers, or with DFACs, law enforcement, elected officials. And then other ways of thinking outside of the box, the big box stores, and there's a lot to name, but I'm not going to name them, but they have things written in their budget that can help, line items that they need to have money allocated. They just need the right partner. At grocery stores, then it could be libraries. You could come and facilitate a read aloud, or facilitate a session or something going on there. Colleges. And then another thing was brought up, I saw something on Facebook that was saying art studios, different places or museums that have space dedicated, but they need people to come in there. So, I mean, all kinds of things that could be happening, but we limit ourselves because we're thinking about how things have been done previously. But so that's something else to think about. And then why should budgeting matter to you? As we get more into the financial thoughts about what's happening, and I see that my time is running down, but why should budgeting matter to you? It helps you better understand financial health of your program. It's important to make informed decisions. Helps you manage spending so that you can plan for program improvement, and supports planning for your own salary, benefit, and retirement needs. So all kinds of great things to think about. And I'll go through this list pretty quickly, but then I have it on another graphic after this that shows that this is cyclical. This thing that it happens with the budget, and you're looking at it and reassessing. So it is all flowing together. But set up calendar reminders, and I'm really big on that. In order to go to anything, it has to be on my calendar so I can make sure I know the login and where I need to go and who's the audience that I'm talking to. Finding an accounting system that is accurate and easy. Flag items that need your attention now, making that priority list. because we know it can change throughout the day, but flagging the items that need your attention. And if you can work on it and complete it now, then complete it. Don't save it for later. That's what's going to get you into trouble if you don't take care of what you can take care of, which leads into my next point. If it can be completed quickly, then do it. Someone asked if you're available tomorrow for a meeting at 3. You can look on your calendar. Yes, I am. You have the link, add it into your calendar immediately. Then you can move on instead of over committing, which a lot of us have been doing during this time of COVID, because you think you have time and then you don't. And then you're booked for 2 meetings. Then keep good records and file receipts. And I'm talking to myself right here. And stay organized, because I'm organized in other areas, but not a lot of the areas that have to do with my business. So I need to tighten up that area there. Ask for best practices from trusted peers and sources, and start a small group. Start small and be consistent when updating your information. And there's my timer. But let's see, Dr. Daphne, do you have time for me to go a few more moments, or do you need me to wrap it up?
You can take a couple more minutes, then we'll wrap up.
Okay, thank you so much. Notice trends. That's another thing that business owners and maybe program directors don't really think about. Notice trends that are happening in your community. Don't be the one left out trying to figure out, oh, so I need more computers because I'm going to have a summer program and it might end up being remote. Or I'm going to transition to pre-K and I didn't think about I need to have availability for learning remotely. So notice different trends and seeing how you can meet those needs. Acknowledge that you are high quality and purchasing more things may cause a problem later. And that's a Brigitte Willis one right there. Because I like to buy a lot of different things to help enhance my community too, but my program more immediately. But being in control of that budget, that'll help get you in place. And these were the steps that I was referring to before. But there are different steps about pulling the different reporting and looking at the items from different financial reporting periods and building a budget based on the operations of your current program. That's a big one. Review the bottom line of the budget. Let's look at it, know what it is. Make revisions to the current program budget. List new initiatives you're considering. We want to have good ideas, but we want to see in the strategic planning, is it time to do it now? Or can it be put off for another year and then you work towards getting that funding? Add new initiatives you can afford and recheck at the bottom line to see if it's balanced, and then revise the budget again if needed to support any new goals or initiatives that have been added. But that I was at another training and they provided this graphic. And it just shows that it's an ongoing process. It's ongoing because hopefully your business is operating daily and it's on a schedule that you can count on. So we need to be reassessing in this cycle. And then understanding time management. Here we are. As I said, my timer went off. But find a planner that is working for you and refer to your calendar before committing to more events. Consult your business plan, strategic plan, mission, and vision. Is it what you need to be working on right now? Are you chasing the money, or is the money chasing you, is how I like to view with the vision and mission. And know what brings you joy and concerns you and brings you stress and hope. And be consistent to get an accountability partner. So thank you so much to Expand ECE that they have provided us with that assistance, that accountability partner with our coach. And learn to say no from time to time. It's okay to say no based on what you have happening. And another thing that I did learn from my coach is set a timer to work on a task and schedule more time as needed. Because sometimes you start working on something and then it just goes on for hours, but you need to stay focused and get in. If you have an hour, get in on that hour what you can get done. And then if you need more time, see if there's time later on your calendar, but don't keep on staying and working on the same one thing, because you want it done, but you might not can get it done today. So just little things to be focused on that, and be present to whatever the task is at hand, so you can work on that and communicate often and early if more time is needed for completion. I had a few more things that was stop and breathe, be more mindful, and then I'll just get to the bottom and wait. Why am I talking? Utilize that technique. And then I want to highlight from the content, date yourself from time to time. So something else to think about, and just kind of make adjustments and be more flexible, and consult your budget regularly, not just when it's tax time. Be mindful, schedule time for your budget and inputting information into your budget daily, weekly, and of course, reassessing on that monthly basis. And know you are enough, you are respected, and you are valued. And let's see if I can get to my good thing. I got some resources there, but let's get to this last part. This is my closer. Bring it with you. A lot of times we get together and we say, oh, I wish that was happening, or I wish I could do that. Well, bring it with you, whatever that is. If you're a problem solver, bring it. If you are a trailblazer, bring it. If you have a strengths-based mindset, bring it. If you can state the facts and leave out the drama, bring it. If you operate in a spirit of excellence, bring it. If you're not afraid of being alone in the truth, bring it. If you have a passion for community success, bring it. The children are watching our every move, so bring it. If you want a better outcome for young children, advocate. And I want to say thank you so much, BCDI-Atlanta, for allowing me this time to share with you. And that's my closing screen. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Daphne or Dr. Sharlita.
Thank you, Bridget. We're going to bring it because you brought it, girl. That was fantastic. Wonderful information. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I learned so much. I'm gonna use a lot of those strategies and stuff. Wonderful, wonderful. Does anybody have any reflections or questions for Bridget? Anything you thought anything that resonated with you? I know we talked about she operates the Family Childcare Center, but you could saw that it was very, very broad and comprehensive. Very, very good. So does anybody have any comments?
This is Victoria. That's what I was going to say. Bridget did not limit it to what is typically seen for family child care providers or just child care. She went across fields, across industries. We don't have to limit ourselves, and I think that's her most important point.
Oh, true, Dr. Victoria. Anybody else have any comments or reflection? We have some comments in the chat. I apologize for the garbage man. Sharon says, thank you, Bridget. You shared so much valuable information. I need your notes. I know that's right. And so we are collecting information. I know Dr. Coleman had talked about that. So as a part of our Lean resource guide, all of the resources that our presenters present will be embedded into what we share with the community. So we're almost at our home stretch.
Dr. Daphne, while you're sharing, I wanted to say to everyone, I hope you notice how involved Bridget is. You know,
Yes.
people love to give, I'm going to use the word excuses because all of us are busy. We're all busy. And in family child care for sure, because you are the everything. But look at her. She shows up everywhere in all these different spaces. So just use her. Just think of Bridget as your champion when you're trying to consider your involvement, because when your voice is not heard, decisions are made without you at the table.
So true. So true. Thank you. All right, so we want to take this time. Michelle is going to drop in the chat an opportunity for you to share anything that you talked about today that we can put noted. So we're going to know all the Bridget stuff that she has shared with us, but we don't want to miss this opportunity that you can become a part of our guide that goes out, our resource guide that goes out to the community. So please share a resource. We will collect the information. We're going to compile it, organize it, and share it with the community. So resources on professional management, if you know a great website, if you know a great consultant or expert, anything like that. If you want to share that in the survey form that we have, we really, really appreciate it because it all comes together. It all comes together to build the community and help us thrive. Ujama. And so we have another lean coming up. We're leaning on in there. We have one on May 25th, and it'll be about money matters. And who doesn't want to know about money and how can we have resources and profitability in our community for our program? So set your calendar. They're always at 12:30 to 2, and invite a friend to come along. Also, we want to invite you to our next affiliate meeting, which will be in July 12th at 6:30. So please join us for that. And then in October, we'll have another meeting that is very inclusive for our members who will be a part of our business meeting and our community members who also can come to our affiliate meeting. So put that on your calendar to save the date to come to one of BCDI's affiliate meetings. Also, if you're looking to the future in the crystal ball, we're always looking as our great community gala, where we have our awards presentations and we do a great fundraiser for BCDI-Atlanta, and that will be in December. So start thinking, because you know we like to get cute. And so what do you want to wear? Who you want to come with? And how can you be involved? So put that on your calendar for December 3rd. Also become a member of BCDI-Atlanta. We always have great resources, information, and it's a time to come together as a Black organization and have our own conversations and talk about things that affect our community. So if you're not a member of BCDI, please join and become a member of BCDI-Atlanta and NBCDI. And as always, we are always like the community to support us. We're a not-for-profit organization, and we accept donations and resources for many different ways. So if you feel in your heart, if you know someone who is a high resource individual or high resource organization who would like to support our mission at BCDI-Atlanta, please ask them to join at any one of those channels and support us in any way they can. Big or small, it all goes together and all works together for the good. Thank you for coming to our lean gathering. Remember to follow us on all social media, like, share, and post, and tweet, and all those wonderful things. So that concludes our meeting today. You guys have a great day, great week, and we will see you again next month.